Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to fix and whiten up teeth. For example, in this case we have an interesting image of this guy. You see this tooth is smaller than the other one, and the lower ones are also not straight, and I will try to change this one to make it match a good match with the other one, but you can do the same thing for the rest of them on the lower jaw. Then we will do some brightening of the teeth, and generally this will be a lesson just about this. So first thing that I will do is making a copy of the background by pressing the Ctrl and J on the keyboard, or you can do it by right click here and duplicate layer, or maybe drag it here to make a duplicate layer. Just do it whatever is easier to you. Now I would make masks using the Luminosity Mask panel. Okay, now we are going to go to the channels and look for the this is interesting selection. We have already good selection, which means the teeth are white and the rest of the mouth is black. But the thing is that we have some other teeth here in behind which are not selected right away by this selection, but we will try to improve this in the easiest and fastest way in the next step. So I will use this channel for now. I will make a copy out of it by dragging it here to this icon. Now I will go to image adjustments levels. Now I will just play with the levels. Actually, okay, the preview is not active. I will play with the levels. You see we are changing, playing with the highlights and darkness. I will increase the brightness like this. Okay, now we see the other teeth here behind. I will just increase the darkness of the dark places. Okay, this is now better. And okay, I will leave it to this right now. Click OK. Now let me zoom in a little bit more. Now we'll use the same brush but in white color, in overlay mode, not normal mode, maybe 20–30% opacity, and I will just paint over the teeth here like this to make them brighter. And we are making them brighter because everything that's bright on the image gets selected, and everything that's dark on the image is not going to be selected. Let me make the brush okay. It's okay. It's hard enough, so it's not hard, it's not soft, somewhere in the middle. The good thing about the overlay mode is that you can paint, for example, like this. You see, I'm painting with the mouse, with the brush, but in the middle the black part is not being affected almost at all. Okay, so let me further improve this selection like this. Actually, we will do this later in the next step. For now, I think this will be enough brightening. Now we need to make the lips darker, at least the lower lip. I'll make the brush harder and dark, actually black, and paint like this with higher opacity, maybe even 100. Now I'm painting here in the middle between the teeth like this. Okay, now let me use the lasso tool to make a selection around the teeth like this. Okay, select inverse, shift and backspace, or you can go to edit fill. Do it as you want and choose black as a color to make the surroundings of the teeth black, which means not selected in this case. Okay, for now this is fine. Now we'll make this selection active by clicking on this icon here, clicking on the RGB thumbnail to get back to the original image, and now go to adjustment layers and pick Hue Saturation. Now I would, for example, reduce the saturation to 0 just to see where we are having the effect. Here is okay, we don't have anything here. So I will use the brush tool again and white color to paint on the parts where we don't see the effect. Just forgot to make it soft. Okay, something like this. You see, this is a very sharp here, and we don't need sharp places, so I will just blur this thing out here also. Okay, now because this was extreme, we don't need such a big effect. I will just reset this to the default values, and now I will, but if this option here is enabled, and you can enable it automatically in every case by selecting this option here, auto select targeted adjustment tool. So you can just click here and adjust the saturation automatically, the selected part, but you don't have to adjust it from here. You can just for example click here to take a sample of the color that it's present on the teeth, and now just reduce the saturation to some level, maybe minus 30 or so. Increase the brightness a little bit. Okay, now you can take another sample from the other tooth here, the lower jaw, which is not yellow anymore, this is more red. Okay, now decrease the saturation here to minus 20 something, 20, 30, and increase the brightness. Okay, and now let me zoom out a little bit to see the effect in general, and that's it. We have a brightened image by still retaining the natural look. So now when we are done with this one, you can either make a layer which is a composition of all those below by merging them in a way by clicking Ctrl Alt Shift and E button on the keyboard. So this one is image that has the hue saturation effect inside, or you can just merge this below like this, or you can maybe convert this to a smart object so that it has the effects, but you can still change something if you want by clicking on the thumbnail here. It will open the image in another temporary file where you can adjust the effect of the hue saturation adjustment layer. So when you are done with this, you can just close this here and it will save the changes, yes, and it will apply the effect on this layer here. So now we can go further and maybe fix this tooth here. I will make a copy of this tooth by using the lasso tool, and I will do it like this. Okay, just press Ctrl J to make a copy of this tooth on a separate layer. I will go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. Now drag it here and try to match the position to look the best it can. Now I will reduce the opacity of this tooth to make it to make the original tooth behind visible, so that we know if you are putting the tooth in the right position. Control T to enable this, and now maybe rotate it a little bit. Something like this probably. Enable, increase the opacity to 100. Now I will click Control on the keyboard and click on the thumbnail to make a selection around the tooth active, and I will click on the Add Mask option here. Now if you click out on the keyboard and click on the mask, you will see the tooth is selected with the white color. Click again to get back to the original view, and now by using the brush with the black color, not in overlay but in normal mode, in lower opacity, we will try to hide the effects of hide the edges of the, maybe little bit bigger opacity, hide the edges of the copied tooth from this side, so that you can make that new tooth blend as best as possible to the background image. So it's good to try to maintain the same highlights here, because we don't want the same highlight from this tooth to be present on the other one. The point is to not to make them the same, but to make them similar, to make them symmetrical. Now switch to black color to reveal the original here. Just play with the white and black color to hide and reveal some of the parts of the original or the background tooth. We can probably make this tooth little wider to cover the same line here. Maybe Control T, drag it a little bit here. Okay. Now I will use the black brush, and now the white. Okay, now it looks better now. Okay, now we'll zoom out a little bit to see how it looks from a little bigger distance. I would rotate the tooth a little bit, like this. Let me see now. Now it looks little better. Okay. Okay, this is looking good now. Okay, so this is about teeth fixing. You can do the same thing using the same technique on the other teeth here in the lower jaw, and to make this smile perfect. Now I will merge this down, merge layers, make a duplicate, filter, liquify. Here we go to the face tool and choose the mouth. You can make the guy a little with bigger smile. It's funny. Now we can make you can do some crazy things here. Now that's a smile. Okay. Okay, I'm just playing with this image. Face shape, maybe the jawline. Oh, this is an interesting face. I would not go in details with this, because you see it's very obvious what he does. You just play with the the image, play with the nose, maybe with the one of the eyes, the other eye, maybe with the, where was it? Okay, this is just a fast example. You see, this is the before and after. It's a crazy change. Click OK. This is not something that you need to try to follow as an example, but you can do something of your own. Anyway, this was a lesson about the teeth. I hope you like the effect, and that's it about this lesson. So thank you for watching.